Hey, everybody, we have got this band here, and they got something to talk about. What do you got, guys?
Hey, this is Tom,
Zach,
and Sebastian
from Howling Giant. We're releasing our new record, The Space Between Worlds, on September 27th through Blues Funeral Records. Keep your eyes peeled.
we've got a tour going around the entire thing. All the dates are up on our Facebook right now, but we'll be releasing the record in Pittsburgh at Howlers on September 27th. And then the next day, we'll be working our way over to Oliver Brewing, who is going to brew a companion beer for the album, named after the album, The Space Between Worlds. And the release show is going to have us, Ruby the Hatchet, Freedom Hawk, and Atomic Motel.
You heard it here. Go check it out. Snag one, buy one. Bandcamp Blues Funeral. You heard it. Use your words, motherfucker. And check it out when you can. Rock on. This is the Doom Tomb Podcast, a podcast for all things stoner, doom, and sludge. My name is Chris. I am your host. Today we have Greg from the band Holy Grove. This was done at Yucca Tap Room in the Electric Bat Arcade. You can hear it all in the background. Thank you so much, Greg. Really appreciated it. Had a great chat with you. Here it is, Greg from Holy Grove. We are in Tempe, Arizona, in Yucca Tap Room, but it's the other side. It's the Electric Bat Arcade. And just saw a great night. It was Stone Witch, Old Fashioned Assassin, and Holy Grove. And I have one of the members here from Holy Grove. Sir, please introduce yourself.
Hey, everybody. This is Greg. I'm the bass player of Holy Grove.
And how long has Holy Grove now been a full active band?
Let's see. We are approaching our 7-year anniversary.
Nice.
We first started jamming and sort of getting shit together, and I can swear, right?
Yeah, say whatever you need to, brother.
We started jamming in January of 2012, and put out our first record about 3 years later. So, yeah, we've been just past the 7-year mark, 7.5 years, roughly.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are based out of Portland.
Word.
And gals.
Yep.
And I was curious as to the Portland area. How did that influence the Holy Grove sound?
Well, I think Portland, being that the fact that it rains 9 months, 9 months out of the year,
right,
sort of forces you to, occupy your time, and because you can't go outside. So it's sort of. We started in January, so we had January. It doesn't stop raining really till about 4th of July is the cutoff when it stops raining. We get our summer from like 4th of July till about this time, early September. So we had that first sort of 6-7 month burst of being, rained out and having nothing to do but write songs. So
it brings something there.
Absolutely. I mean, like, you're either gonna kill yourself because you're just locked in from the gray and the rain all the time, or you're gonna find a way to channel it. And luckily, we were able to get the band started and write our first batch of songs in that sort of dreary, rainy, gray Portland winter. Yeah.
So while you're over there, I'm sure there's a few places that you play at in that area. What are some of the primo spots to book a gig?
Well, it's kind of unfortunate because of the influx of California money. A lot of the venues are sort of shutting down right now, but
great.
We still got the High Water Mark, which is one of our favorite places to play. The Star Theater, we just played with Lucifer from Sweden. We just played with them at the Star Theater about a month ago. Dante's, great spot. We're playing there when we get back from tour, we're playing there with Big Business.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Star Theater, Dante's, High Water Mark, the Twilight are sort of the spots to play in town, for sure.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for asking. I'm always curious because, like you were saying before, sometimes gentrification. Yeah. We had a few spots in our area here in Arizona that got lost to gentrification. Yeah. I don't know, for some reason you can't have a rock and roll spot.
Yeah, when they build those nice new condos, if there's a rock and roll spot near that, the rock and roll spot seems to disappear and the nice new condos sort of
terrible.
Pop up.
That rock and roll is the devil.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go off of social media for a minute.
Yeah.
I saw this picture and I'm kind of fascinated. I got my first tattoo not too long ago. And I was in this place, Idle Hands Tattoo in I think it's Mesa, and they had all these curiosities, weirdness, on the walls and stuff.
Yeah,
I love that shit. And I saw this picture on your social media page, and it had these there were these fur walls. There was this badass looking, almost like what is that thing? Like a steampunk kind of chandelier-ish thing. And there was a bunch of different curiosities.
Yeah.
What was that? Your recording space, or what was it?
That was so we've recorded both of our records with Billy Anderson, the guy that recorded the Sleep records, a bunch of Melvins. He played in the Melvins. I mean, he's Billy Anderson. He's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
So the picture you're referring to is we did so we recorded for both of our records. We recorded with him we recorded the drums and the basic tracks and everything in studio in Portland, but the picture that you're referring to is his home studio where we tracked all the vocals and did a bunch of overdubs. So that's Billy's studio. Everything Hurts is what it's called.
That's all his weirdness.
Yeah, that's all. That's definitely all of Billy's shit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, recording with Billy, is such a great experience. But when you go into his studio and you have that the vibe that he's got with those chandeliers with the 8-point buckhorns hanging out the window and all the fur and shit, that's all Billy for sure.
I love that, man. I think that's a killer place. Where is that located?
That's in Portland. Billy lives in Portland, and so it's his house. That's his basement studio, pretty much.
That's a heads up. So if you're in Portland, you got to record.
Yeah, I mean,
head over there.
Everybody knows Billy and knows what a legend that dude is. But so we recorded both of our records with him, and we did the drums and the bass and the guitars in studios in Portland, and then bounced everything down and moved to his home studio to do overdubs and vocals.
There you go.
All that stuff that's Billy's home studio. The fur and the horns and all that
stuff. Just very kitschy, campy kind of thing. I loved it, man. So you're kind of right now in the middle of your tours.
Indeed.
Yep. What were some bands that you saw for the first time that really took notice?
So we've we've been there. That's Andy from Sub Rosa. That's his band with his buddy Cash, and we've played with them twice so far. It's just they're a two-piece, Andy on drums and Cash on guitar, and we're meeting up with them again on what's today? Thursday, right?
Today's Thursday, yeah.
So we're meeting up with them on Saturday, and then we're playing with them Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and they have blown my mind. I mean, they're just a two-piece. Cash plays a baritone guitar with a bunch of crazy effects, and then Andy plays drums, and I don't really know how to describe them, but they fucking rule.
It's D-O-N-E?
Yeah, D-O-N-E, done.
All right, I got to check that out.
Yeah, dude, they rule. And it's Cat. He uses he has a baritone guitar with a whammy bar on it and a bunch of delays. So he kind of lays these guitar-y soundscapes and
sure,
man, the best.
All right,
I'm really stoked to play with those guys.
Absolutely. And one thing I did notice on social media, I see so many bands where they're going into their tour and there's so much in, and something happens. They get a flat, they get this, they get a band breakdown.
Oh, word.
Nothing happened, and I think that is
I'm gonna knock on wood.
we're doing that right now because I'm that's great, that's fantastic, and be so thrilled for that.
Yeah, it's been smooth sailing since we're about 10 days out right now, 9 days out, and It's been smooth sailing all the way through, so it's been nice.
And with that so far, what was the best food you've had on tour?
Oh, damn. Well, so our drummer, Eben, is from Albuquerque, and we played there last night, and he made sure that we had New Mexican food both nights. So we pulled into town yesterday afternoon, and we met his folks, and they took us to a great New Mexican spot. Bunch of roasted green hatch chilies on
nice.
enchiladas and burritos. It was
so you're
glorious.
a fan. You're a spice guy.
Oh, 100%.
All right, so check this. So a couple of weeks ago, I've been engulfed in making pickles for the past couple of weeks.
Nice.
And I decided I just go for it. So I made these ghost pepper pickles, and I got
shit,
hot as balls.
Yeah.
Great. Don't get too far from a toilet.
Yeah, right.
But here's the thing. So my fiance brought these into work, and they loved them, and they said, oh, make them again. Well, she couldn't find ghost peppers, so she bought habanero or Scotch bonnet, one or the other.
Sure.
And hatch chili. So I made a batch of hatch chili pepper pickles and either habanero or Scotch bonnet.
Right.
I got to tell you, those are so much better. They're still spicy as that all could be, but there's so much more flavor. Like sometimes I think ghost is like heat for the sake of heat.
I like to ride the line between overtly spicy and also flavorful.
Right.
Like I'm down to sweat and I'm down to like get that burn, but I don't want it to overpower the flavor of the food. So it was nice to be able to, they got in New Mexico they have this thing called, they got the red chili sauce and the green chili sauce. So
Verde,
when you order they go like, what do you want, red or green? But you can also say I want Christmas, and that's red and green. So I had a big old plate of chicken enchiladas, Christmas style, with the red and green sauce, and it was fucking amazing. So
sounds.
Yeah, I grew up in San Jose, in California, which is known for its Mexican food. So
right.
I'm not skimping on the heat for sure.
No stranger to it at all. Now I saw something else on social media, and I really this is an important question. I saw that you have a very interesting shirt. I want to discuss that in a second, but I've seen you wear an Ace Frehley shirt.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Space Ace.
Yep. That's Space Ace has been my internet handle since about 1997 or so.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So I'm on social media. It's always Space Ace. That's all my Instagram and shit like that is all Space Ace.
All right. So this might be difficult for you. I'm not sure.
All right. Hit me. Are you going to ask me my favorite Ace solo?
I would love to hear it.
Shock me.
Oh, okay. That might throw something in here because here's what we're gonna do. Hold on a second. Okay. First, I'm gonna go. It's a battle.
Okay.
It's gonna be Cold Gin.
Okay.
Versus Shock Me.
Shock Me.
Ooh, and it's just for the solo?
And because Ace sings on it. Because I love Cold Gin. Cold Gin was probably my second favorite Ace song, but I love Shock Me because Ace sings it.
Okay.
And all the legends of him, like being so shy that he didn't want to sing, he had to lay on his back in the dark.
I love
all that, all that stuff. But yeah, Shock Me. The guitar solo in Shock Me is probably one of my favorite guitar solos of all time.
Okay, we're gonna go now. I'm gonna talk about some albums. Maybe I don't know. Let's just get to it.
All right.
2000 Man versus Hard Times.
Hard Times.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
On the first one, I don't know. God, man, Cold Gin just grabs my ass so.
Yeah.
But Hard Times, there's something real dirty.
Agreed.
It's New York gritty, dirty.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. It's kind of like a New York Dolls kind of vibe. It's kind of like they're kind of working towards that thing.
Completely. Yeah. All right, now this might be a little bit more difficult. Talk to Me versus Torpedo Girl.
Ooh.
Off of the Unmasked.
I gotta go Talk to Me, I think.
Talk to Me. Okay. Let me think. Torpedo Girl. I might go Torpedo Girl. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I get it. I'll probably go, but for my favorite Ace song, what's the first song on the solo record? Rip It Out. I think that's probably besides.
All right, but Rip It Out versus New York Groove.
I gotta go Rip It Out, dude. Just for the drums on Rip It Out. I mean, who was that dude? That guy played in the David Letterman band. What's his name?
Anton Fig.
Yeah. So I mean, just for those drum fills, like in that drum break, I gotta go for Rip It Out for sure.
Now, if we can go solo stuff, I know not solo. It was Frehley's Comet.
Sure.
Okay. So we'll go Rock Soldiers. Oh no. Yeah, let's do that one first. Rock Soldiers versus Insane.
See, that's a blind spot for me, brother. I'm a Kiss fan, not like a diehard Ace. I'm a diehard Ace fan, but I'm more of a diehard Kiss fan. So like some of the Frehley's Comet stuff, I'm just not as familiar with.
Are you familiar with Into the Night?
Yes.
Versus It's Over Now.
Oh, Into the Night, 100%.
Okay. I would agree with that one.
Yeah.
Rock Soldiers, it's like. As much as I love Rock Soldiers, it seems a little kitschy to me.
It treads that fine, some of that late 70s, early 80s stuff, it just treads that fine line where it veers a little far over to to the like Sunset Strippy glam stuff that I can't get behind, you know.
It's that Rain Insane, my brain.
Exactly.
Yeah, that kind of shit, yeah.
But I mean, I'll back Ace all day in the Kiss years for sure.
Absolutely. And so, do you think, will there ever be a time where you're going to pop through that bass and there's going to be some smoke and some fire coming out?
Oh, I mean, if we get the budget for that, 100%. And I got to say, when we toured Europe with our buddies Gozu from Boston, we toured Europe and about 2 years ago, and we played She. Pretty much every night of that tour, just because we were like trying to decide on a cover song, and we're like,
right,
what should we do? And we played She a bunch of times in Europe. Yeah,
it's funny. Somebody that played here tonight would love to hear that. They're gonna hear this.
Yeah.
You hear what they're saying? She. That's the cover.
Yeah,
that's it.
Dude, it's such a great song, and you know, like the live version of She, where they go into that. Yeah. And we would go like into one of our songs at that point.
Oh, so, badass.
We did like kind of a medley of She into one of our songs at that point.
I know Mos Generator did a cover of
shit.
She.
Awesome.
And when they put it out, that was that part, and they said, Kiss Alive! And when they go into like the whole, that whole part.
So we would go into our song Caravan from our first record at that point. When we go into that sort of, I know that's on one of their, I don't know, that's a song from Dress to Kill. I forget what song it is, but where they would do that we would go into one of our songs at that point.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about your music.
All right.
Okay, first I want to get this out of the way because I think this is important. Live from the world famous Kenton Club.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. How did that come about?
So that was recorded live at there's like a yearly festival in Portland called Ceremonial Sludge that our buddy Justin from Witch Mountain he puts it on with his buddy Blaine, who are been great supporters of the scene in Portland.
Right.
And we played it pretty much every year that we've been a band. And
good one.
Excuse me. And so they record it every year pretty much and kind of give the recordings to the bands to do what they want with. And it just so happened that a good friend of ours, Peter, and his wife Cassie were dealing with some medical issues with their daughter. And so we decided to take our recording and put it up on Bandcamp for like a pay what you want sort of download.
Right.
And all the proceeds are going to go to their daughter's GoFundMe/medical fund. So
that's awesome, dude.
We've been able to raise some money for them and kind of help them out in that way.
Anytime you can help somebody out, especially with that, it's not like it's something that was that it was her cause. You know, it was like this you're born. It's not something that you did anything bad. It's the cards you were dealt.
Yeah.
And those kind of people need the most help.
I mean, our buddy Pete, he's been a friend of the band, and our guitar player Trent has played in bands with him for years, and so when we saw that they posted a GoFundMe for their daughter, and we were like, what can we do to help? And we thought the best thing to do was just put that record up for like sort of a pay what you want kind of thing, and we've been able to raise a bunch of money for them and donate it to them.
We've got this guy Adam, he has this Immortalized Productions that he has out here, and there was somebody her name is Sherry Ann, but we call her Metal Babe, Chick, because she's at all the shows.
Right.
And she's just she's almost like a mom to these people.
Totally.
And she got cancer, and so there have been benefits, and like anytime I get a chance, I'm paying.
That's one of the best things about metal scenes in everywhere is that they rally around their people, and like that's what it was like. Sort of, we decided to rally around our people and do what we can to help them out,
That's thank you.
Yeah,
that's,
of course. I mean, that's
awesome.
I think that's sort of one of the things that like people who aren't involved in the scene really sort of. They look at a bunch of long-haired tattoo people, but they don't realize how much everyone sort of protects their own.
Yeah,
that's one of the great things. That's one of the great parts of the metal community.
We all come together.
Yeah,
Just a merry. What are they? A land of the misfit toys kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'll be Hermie because I want to be a dentist and I don't want to make toys. Okay, so you've had Holy Grove 1, Holy Grove 2. Adam Burke, illustrator.
Yeah.
Similar, like, in the forest, around the forest.
Yeah.
What is the?
It was supposed to be like the first record. It's kind of like a midnight Twilight sort of vibe.
Yes.
And because we've Eben, our current drummer, he didn't play on that first record.
Right.
That's our first drummer, and we sort of the artwork for the new record was kind of like the dawn. It was like
cool.
early morning sort of.
That's awesome.
And it was like the rebirth of the band sort of, because we were able to find Eben, start playing with him, and kind of expand the sound of the band, and it was kind of like the rebirth of the band a little bit.
Cool. Can we go through a few tracks?
Sure.
Just tell me if you got anything about them.
Yeah.
Blade Born.
That was the first song we wrote for the new record. We got back from tour in Europe, and we had some ideas like the main riff, and that was sort of the genesis of the new record. It was like that was the connecting tissue between the first record and the new record.
Right.
Yeah.
And with that coming out so strong, it's like this is what we have for part two.
Exactly.
What can you tell me about Aurora?
Aurora is an older song. That's sort of a song from maybe a year before that we recorded the record, and was sort of intended to be like a little bit of a transition between the first record and the second record.
Okay. And Valley of the Mystics.
Yeah, that's an epic that we Andrea, our singer, is a huge fan of the Dark Crystal, and that's all those lyrics are all a reference to the Dark Crystal series and all the comics and stuff. And
yes, I just see something. Is that on
there's
Netflix?
There's a new series.
I heard it's like amazing.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet. We're saving it till we get back from tour so we can.
Right.
We have a couple days off, and we're just gonna I think we're just gonna chill and watch the new series.
Yeah, somebody said something. I can't remember what it was like. If Henson was alive, he'd be glowing.
I would imagine so. All the trailers and previews and shit that I've seen, it looks amazing. So yeah, but that was sort of the first epic that I don't epic in quotation marks.
Right.
That was sort of one of the newer songs that we wrote that was intended to be like, here's where the band is going from here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Solaris.
Solaris is one of my favorite songs off the new record. It's influenced by the Tarkovsky movie of the same name, and is just, I think, kind of encapsulates where the band is headed, pretty much.
Really, I apologize. I think I know of that movie. Give me a little.
It's kind of like the Russian. I guess in shorthand, it would be the Russian sort of 2001. Andrei Tarkovsky is a Russian director. Made only it's kind of like Kubrick. Made only 5 or 6 movies, but every one is a masterpiece.
Right.
And it's just a great sci-fi movie about a sentient planet where that makes everyone's dreams / nightmares come true, basically.
All right, Netflix or Amazon?
Oh, I don't know. It's Criterion Blu-ray.
Criterion Blu-ray. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Snag one if you can. And Cosmos.
Cosmos is the last song we wrote for the record. It's got our buddy Mike from Yob on background vocals, and that song took Trent and I about a year to write, and it was. So when we were writing the new record, we had not met Eben when we started writing this new record.
Right.
We got back from Europe, and our drummer that had been up to that point, he moved out of town, so we were sort of without a drummer, but we knew we wanted to keep the band going, so we just started writing songs in Trent's garage, and Cosmos was sort of the song that we used as our signpost. It was like the one that took us about 6-8 months to sort of get everything together, and then when Eben joined the band, we showed him the rough demo of it, and he was like, yes, this is what I want to do.
I can do something with this.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
That's awesome. Thank you for that rundown. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
And the one thing that I was saying before outside was the amount of people tonight, because I go to a lot of the shows.
Sure.
I talk to all the bands.
Yeah.
And everybody had the same, no, almost verbatim, the same thing to say about you guys playing live. It was like, I just can't believe how dialed in they were.
Yeah.
It sounded tremendous.
Oh,
and
thanks,
it's
brother.
like,
Appreciate that.
Sometimes there's a difference, you know, when there's like, there's the dive bar sound.
Yeah.
There's the 20,000 seat sound.
Right.
It sounds like 25,000 seat sound there,
right.
where it's like, it's big, it's boisterous, it's heavy, it's thick, but always concise.
Yeah.
It feels like everything's just sliced and chopped and honed.
Yeah.
And what a wonderful, fantastic set.
I mean, our goal is to, our records, we kind of consider our records one thing and our live shows another. And we always just want to make sure that we're bringing it live and leaving it all up there and, kind of bringing the rock, you know?
Yeah, and I appreciate the time because I was actually thinking that, like, sometimes I'll watch you guys, sometimes I got my eyes closed, I'm trying to vibe out and feel it. And I'm thinking to myself, shit, I hope they can do an interview after this.
Yeah.
Because
our entire goal is just to, like, leave it all on stage, pretty much.
Thank you.
That's sort of how we've kind of made our mark in Portland, for sure.
And lastly, so this shirt, you told me a little bit off mic. Tell me a little bit about this again.
So this is a Rawhide Rex t-shirt from our buddies in Weird War in Portland, Dennis Dredd. He's done a bunch of art for Dark Throne, and he and his wife Summer have like a shop in Portland where they sell their wares, and this is the Rawhide Rex shirt. It's a straight to video movie, but the shirt is the Ghana. Ghana has like they take American movie posters and sort of make them their own, and this is the Ghana movie poster version of Rawhide Rex, a classic 80s. I think this is an Australian film. Straight to VHS Australian film. I mean, I'm a 80s kid that grew up going to video stores and basically renting horror movies based on the cover art.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is one of those movies.
I used to do that. I remember it would like Motel Hell.
Yeah, for sure. Motel Hell, Rawhide Rex,
Spit on Your Grave.
Yeah, Spit on Your Grave, Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah, Cannibal.
Movies.
Yeah,
those are all. Going to video stores with my parents and sneaking peeks at the crazy horror movies, and this is one of them that was ended up being my favorites. Besides all the Carpenter shit and shit like that. Are you a horror fan? Oh, 100%.
Are you straight horror or horror gore or
all of it? Any horror, any. I would say like I love VHS horror and practical effects horror. I don't really fuck with like anything past. I mean, there's the good shit, obviously, like The Witch and I can't really think of anything besides The Witch in the last 10 years that I've liked a lot. But like practical effects, gore, horror, I love it all. Yeah, for sure.
Now, how can people? I want to make sure that they know where they can find this release. And where they can get the rest of your releases.
Sure.
How can we reach you?
We're at holygrove.bandcamp.com. That's the best place to get our stuff. That anything that people buy from that, 100% of the profits go to us, which is amazing.
Yes.
We're also on the Ripple Music label, so you can get any of our stuff through Ripple Music. Where else? We're streaming on Spotify, Apple Music, Google, all that shit.
But it's always better to buy the physical.
If you want to support the band, buy the shit through Bandcamp. That's the bottom line, for sure.
And either that, or how about this? How about come out to a fucking show?
Come out to a show, yeah, for sure.
Agreed.
I don't know when this is coming out, but we got like 5 more shows on this tour. So if you're anywhere in California in the next 5 to 7 days, we'll be playing in your town.
If I can get it out, I will. If not, have a safe tour.
Thanks, brother.
Safe travels. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Tell the rest of the band. Loved it.
100%.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks, brother.
thanks again, Greg. I sincerely appreciate it. Much love to everyone in Holy Grove. Wanted to talk about the track before I play it. I got a video of it. I love this song. It solidified what the second release is all about. Just love the groove of it, love the vocal, everything. This is Blade Born. doomtombpodcast@gmail.com. That is how to reach us. Thank you so much for hanging out. Don't forget, I have a show on craniumradio.com, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sundays. Do not miss it. And you know what? Check out all the other DJs that are on there. They play some great stuff. I'm more the stoner doom guy, but they play a lot of thrash and death and Viking metal, industrial, old school hip hop, whole bunch of stuff. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. It's nothing like terrestrial radio. Also, Planet Mammoth 2020. Don't forget, February 21st to 23rd, Tempe, Arizona, Yucca Tap Room, ton of bands. Go to the Eventbrite link in the show notes and get your tickets now. Thank you so much for listening. Until the next time, the meantime, in between time, enjoy yourselves. Keep going to the shows. I'm going to see you at those shows. And don't forget to stay heavy.